In his first ever Irish television interview, it's hard to believe, but would you welcome, please, Mr. Neil Diamond. A low-key response to your arrival on the show there, Neil?
I think everybody's depressed. I hope not.
Not anymore. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to Ireland. You're a regular visitor.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Is it the case that I could have introduced you in another life as Dr. Neil Diamond?
Well, I tried. I really wanted to be a doctor. I was good at science from the time I was a kid. I had my own microscope, and I tried all kinds of things. I thought I was going to be a doctor because of my affinity for science, but music came along. Yeah. It took precedence. It wiped everything out of the way. I started taking guitar lessons and piano lessons when I was 16, and after that there was nothing. I went through the motions at university, but music was where I was going.
That's where you wanted to be. The Brill Building is, we talk about icons, it's an iconic place. Just remind people who don't know what it was and what you were doing there.
Well, there's a section in New York, there was, called Tin Pan Alley, and it was where the music publishers and record companies and record producers, the music business essentially, and record business was located within a few blocks. And the office buildings were filled with music publishers and singers and songwriters and people trying to find a way to make a name. These TV shows, I don't know, do you have a TV show here called Irish Idol?
We have something very similar, yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, so there's, we didn't have that then. We had to do it the old-fashioned way. We had to knock on doors and hope that somebody would accept us, and I did that for years. I did that for 8 years until I got my big break, and it was a wonderful, exciting time for me. It was fun. It was exciting.
Who were the other people you were writing with or around and at the time that we would all know now, of course?
I don't know if you'd know them. I was just a kid trying to get in.
Yeah.
I didn't have any success really until I started writing for myself. And my songs were pretty terrible because I didn't really understand what I had to do to write songs. Yeah. They were words and they were music, but they were not great. There was nothing personal. There was nothing passionate about them. And it wasn't until I was desperate at the very last moment of my travels and prayers and hopes that I finally got to understand what I had to do to write good music, and that was basically to put myself as a human being into the music. It had to be not some copy of some song I heard on the radio. It had to be something original from me. And from that point on, my world changed. I went from a kid knocking around on the streets and wearing a cotton winter coat for years in New York to somebody who suddenly had chart records and was doing personal appearances, and I had a future. My future was laid out, and all I had to do was work hard, and it became a reality.
Well, what do you consider to be your jackpot moment for your career, where things went bingo, it's all good?
Well, it all changed, really. I did a demo of one of my songs, and I hired a singing group of girls, spent the whole budget, on the singing group because I really wanted the demo to be as good as I could possibly make it. And one of the girls in the group turned out to be one of the most famous songwriter producers of the time. She was helping out a girlfriend who couldn't make the session, and so she showed up, and she liked the way I sang. I don't know if the song was any good. I don't even remember what the song was, but her name was Ellie Greenwich. She's passed on now, but she heard something that she liked, and she said, I want my husband to hear you, and I want you to bring your demos, and we're going to listen to you. And they did, and they got me my first important job as a staff songwriter, although I'd had a number of jobs as a staff songwriter before then. Ellie and Jeff got me my first really important one, and when I was fired from that job, which I had been fired from every staff writing job I'd had, they agreed to produce me as an artist. I asked, I begged, and they agreed, and that was the start of my career.
And when you wrote, for example, I'm a Believer,
Yes.
did you feel that you were onto something with that? It's a song that people hear today. It feels as fresh as it was the day you wrote it for some reason. Do you know when you're sitting on something as quality as that?
I had no idea with I'm a Believer. It was just one of the songs in my second album.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it would be a hit. It might not have been a hit for me, but a group that was very big on television at the time called the Monkees recorded it, and it became an enormous hit. And suddenly I had just had my first hit, a record called Cherry Cherry.
Yes.
And then the Monkees came out with I'm a Believer, and I was a hot commodity.
Yes.
I was a singer and a songwriter for myself as well as a writer for someone else. But I had no idea that it would do what it did.
Would it be a little forward to ask you to maybe give us a few bars of that while you're here? I mean, I think the audience would love to.
I hate to say it, but I'm not sure I remember. I haven't played this song. When I do it on stage, I have 14 musicians, and they do all the hard work, and I smile and I sing.
I never thought I'd say it to me, but you can busk it, Neil, if you want. I mean,
I tried that. I tried that recently, and it didn't work out too well. So I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. It's nice. I heard trains out of my mind. Wonderful. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Not if I tried. You did.
Oh, well done.
Wonderful.
Oh, lovely. They're very tuneful, aren't they?
Thank you. Thank you for the help.
It's a song, Irish people love singing your songs, and sometimes they might sing one after a drink or two, bizarrely, just sometimes. And one of them, the great songs being Sweet Caroline. Have you heard of that? And it was only quite recently that you told us who the Caroline was. Would you share that story with us, Neil?
Well, yes, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and I had a recording session the next day. And in those days, you recorded 3 songs in 3 hours. That was a recording session, and I came to Memphis with only 2 songs, and so the night before the session I had to sit down and write a 3rd song, and the melody came very quickly, and I came to the chorus, warm, touching warm, reaching out touching me, touching you. Now I had to say something. It was funny. Oh my goodness. And out of my mouth for some reason came, Sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh, no.
Keep going, it's lovely.
Well, in a million years, when I wrote that song, and I do remember writing it, it's one of the few songs I do remember writing, I never could have imagined that at some point in the future I would do that song on a television show and 100 or 200 people would know the words and sing it along with me.
Yeah.
I wish I had you there. That's beautiful. I wish I had you there that night when I was struggling to find out what the words were, because you obviously know the words. And I didn't know them at all. So it would have been a big help, and I think we may have to travel together. Because I have new songs I'm writing, and you can help me a lot.
I think what Neil's trying to say is you're now his backing singers. Well done. Congratulations.
More than backing singers, I'm inspirational singers. Wonderful.
And the Caroline was?
The Caroline was Caroline Kennedy. And it was a picture that I had in my mind of a little girl with her horse, and I think her horse was named, is that her? Is that a little girl?
Apparently so.
A horse named Macaroni, and I just remembered it, and it came out, and I didn't realize that that's what came to mind until maybe a year later. I said, yeah, that's the Caroline Kennedy picture. And so she's been good luck to me, and this song has been good luck for me since. And it's funny, teams in the United States, athletic teams, have adopted this song as their song because I guess they think it's lucky too, and it has been.
Yeah, well, it's one of those songs that has survived the test of time. Other songs that we'd love to hear little elements of, I don't know if people in the audience, what song did that?
Blue Jeans.
Forever in Blue Jeans is a big favorite here. Do you think you might be able to do it?
It is, but I don't know if I don't know if I know it, but you do.
You hum it, they'll sing the words.
I'm going to have to find the key.
It begins off with Money Talks, Neil.
I know the song, I just don't know if I can play it. Can we do it without me playing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, money talks, but it don't sing and dance and it don't walk. As long as I can have you here with me, I'd much rather be forever in blue jeans. Yeah. Second verse. Bum, 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 bum. Honey is sweet, but it ain't nothing next to baby's treat. And if you'll pardon me, I'd like to say, we'll do okay, forever in blue jeans. Wonderful, thank you.
Good. A film that, and soundtrack, of course, that did huge business for you, but also for a lot of people watching tonight. They loved it. Was The Jazz Singer.
Yes, that's right.
You remember The Jazz Singer, right? And that was your acting debut, as I understand. Is that correct?
It was not only my acting debut, but it was the end of my acting career.
Beginning and the end.
And it was a well-deserved ending. I was lost. I was scared every day that I woke up. I knew that I would have to work with the greatest actor in the English world, Sir Laurence Olivier. I had never been on a set before of a movie. I didn't have an acting teacher. His dialogue coach was kind enough to help me, and Sir Laurence himself was kind enough to help me as well. And I went to him many times and said, how do I do this scene? How do I relate to that actor? And in one particular instance, there was a method actor that I was working with, and method actors don't really follow the books. They read the lines, but they go off into their own sphere, and it's very difficult to relate to somebody who's doing that, especially if you're practicing it. And he said, I said, I don't know how to work with this guy. He keeps doing different things while we're doing this scene. And he says, oh, don't pay any attention at all to him. And that's how he worked with method actors. And so that's what I did. I didn't pay any attention at all to the other guy.
Did you try out for the part of Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver? Is that true?
I was considered for that role only because the producer saw me and he thought I was strange. I don't know. I don't think I'm strange. I think I'm pretty normal. But he thought I was very internal, and it was just I was shy, and he kind of misread me. But I was considered for that, and more than that, there was a very famous avant-garde comedian in the United States named Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
And for the same reason, the producer wanted me to do a screen test for the Lenny Bruce life story called Lenny, which Dustin Hoffman eventually did. And I went down, I practiced, I worked with the director for weeks and weeks and weeks on these scenes because I'd never read a scene before, and it was very scary. And he was trying to take my mind off of the actual lines, of doing the lines, and he made me run in place while I was doing the lines, anything to distract me. And I finally did it that day. There were 3 scenes we did before lunch. I was scared to death, and I realized after doing the first scene that Lenny Bruce's mother was in the studio watching me do the scene. And Lenny Bruce had been dead from an overdose of drugs, and that really scared me. His mom was watching me, and I was very, very depressed. When we took a break for lunch, I went into my camper, and I have a guitar there, and I started picking, and I just didn't know what to do. And so before I knew it, a song occurred to me, and it seemed to vent my fears, and my whole life passed before my eyes. LA is fine, the sun shines most of the time, and the feeling's laid back. And I began writing I Am, I Said, and I felt good again. Not good about the screen test, but good about being able to express myself. And I wrote most of the melody to I Am, I Said in that 1 hour of lunch break. I wrote the title and some of the words. And to me, it was a breakthrough for me, because I'd never written a song like that really expressed my deepest fears. Am I worthy? Am I a worthy person? Because I certainly wasn't worthy to do the acting part.
Would you like to? You've just teased us there now, Neil. I mean, we're really enjoying that. Well, keep going. It's our last piece of music we'll hear from you, so give it a bit of Well, you there, enjoy.
LA's fine, the sun shines most of the time, and the feeling is laid back. Palm trees grow and rents are low, but you know I keep thinking about making my way back. Well, I'm New York City born and raised, but nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. I am a city to no one there, and no one heard, not even the chair. I am, I cried, I am, said I, and I am lost, and I can even see why, leaving me lonely still.
Thank you.
Well, that song came to my rescue at that moment. I couldn't have been more adrift in a sea of self-doubt and fear at that moment, and this song came along like a lifeboat and saved me.
When you play, you'll be playing the Aviva Stadium in Dublin in June. Will you play all the hits, or can we expect to see all those wonderful songs one after another?
Yes, I want to play all the classic music. I want to do all the songs that people love. I'm not getting any younger. I don't know how long I can do this, and I want to give as much as I possibly can now while I have a voice, while I have the passion and the energy for it.
It's been a real pleasure and an honor to have you sitting here singing with us, and as you can hear from the audience, they're very pleased to see you. Thanks for coming and good luck. Neil Diamond.